Welcome back to another PFF Prospect Profile. Today we're going to talk about Georgia running back Nick Chubb. We have Saquon Barkley as the #1 running back on our big board, but then Chubb is probably in that next tier of a handful of running backs in this draft that we think can step in right away and be quality starters.
Yeah, I think numbers 2 to 6 in the running back rankings are all really, really tight. And Nick Chubb, I think, is a guy who could be he could be an underrated player heading into this draft because people have forgotten about just how good he is given the catastrophic knee injury that he suffered, which really threatened to derail his entire college career. You know, if you look at his elusive rating back in his first season playing, 108.5, that was the second among SEC running backs. It was a phenomenal score. Anything over 100 in elusive rating is fantastic. Then his career was basically derailed by that terrible knee injury. And we look at it again in 2017, 94.6. So not all the way back to just how devastating he was, but most of the way there. And I think this 2017 season was the first time we kind of saw that exciting player that he could be again.
Yeah, if Saquon Barkley wasn't in this draft class, I think a lot more people would be talking about how freaky Nick Chubb is as an athlete. He is incredibly explosive. If you look at his testing numbers in Indy, out of this world. He can run through arm tackles at will, has the size. He's almost just a poor man Saquon Barkley in terms of how explosive he is. And also, in my opinion, has some of the best vision in this class. He is a decisive running back in that Georgia system where they run a lot of zone scheme. They've run a lot of run concepts where it takes some vision to be successful in. And so there's not a ton of question marks with him. The one big one, though, is work in the pass game.
Yeah, there's a lot of running backs in this group, which is ironic for, the league has never valued impact receivers at the running back position more, which is why Saquon Barkley, even for us, is our #1 running back. Even with the questions we have about his ball carrying ability, there are so many guys in this draft where the passing game is their biggest question mark. Ronald Jones, Nick Chubb, even guys like Sony Michel, there's so many of them. Chubb really wasn't a big factor in the passing game, but as a ball carrier, he's been fantastic. And unlike Ronald Jones, who I think showed some vulnerability, even as a receiver on limited amount of targets, I think Chubb has been far better and suggests that he could be more of a factor than he ever was in college.
He might not be a guy that you split out wide and use from the slot or use him as a matchup piece against linebackers, but if you get him the ball in space, I don't think he's going to fumble. He's not going to be dropping balls that are easy catches for him.
He can be Todd Gurley.
Yeah, and then once he does have it in space, that's when he is dynamic.
Yeah, he can be Todd Gurley as a receiver. He's not going to be Saquon Barkley, a guy that you split out at wide receiver, but you can give him pretty much any route that you give a traditional running back out of the backfield. He's going to be able to catch the ball. He's going to make things happen in space. This guy broke 118 tackles on the ground in his college career. He's got an incredible ability as well for a big guy, 225 plus pounds, to get skinny at the point of attack, to get in between tight creases, not just run through big holes, which again is a big thing in the NFL. If you can find creases to hit rather than just gaping wide, yawning chasms along that offensive line, you're going to be successful.
Yeah, and that to me, one of the biggest things that translates from college to the NFL, your willingness to run through tight holes. Nick Chubb has it. There you have it, our PFF prospect profile on Georgia running back Nick Chubb.